True, she is one of the best legal minds we have in the country. And if she has a conviction that she's going to be proved innocent after the process has been exhausted, then she's within her right. The parliamentary report notwithstanding and her pending court case notwithstanding, she has a right to vie for political office just like any other politician or aspirant.
Yeah. And again, she's gone back to that case against William Ruto and Uhuru Kenyatta in 2013.
Yes.
That is going to be used a lot.
It is a precedent that the IBC sadly placed against Chapter 6.
Yeah.
So the moment you've already done that and these people are holding the highest positions in the country,
exactly,
then
the
why are you going for the other lower people and telling them, you know, you don't miss this threshold? You stole somebody's cow the other day and you're still in court, you can't vie. When someone was facing crimes in international court and putting the whole country in the international map up for all the wrong reasons, and you clear them to vie, then you can't turn around and now say, yeah, you can't pull that off now and then tell people, you know, you can't vie now because your parliamentary reports, which was written by your competitors, have said that you can't vie. I mean, it doesn't work like that.
Okay, listen, we need to cross...
Chidoba should actually give us a break, and he's a lawyer, I respect him.
Oh yeah, she says, by the way, even him...
On his own right. He also has his own cases, by the way, and he's still holding a public office. Not just a very sensitive public office that's actually going to determine the destiny of this country.
That will oversee the general election.
Exactly, in less than in about 2 months from now. So let him follow the law. I don't want to believe that he's having any political inclination when he says such sentiments, but it's a very sensitive matter that IBC should actually handle with a lot of care. Yeah, because when you're saying such, and these people who you want to bar have supporters across the country. Yeah. So it's a sensitive matter that the IBC should know how they handle. Yeah, the communication they give to Kenyans is very important.
And Shulai says the only office that can bar anyone from running is the court.
It's the courts.
Anything else, forget about it.
Forget activists, as Shulai say, activists can talk, let them write reports, call press conference, give them coverage. They're doing their work. They have to remain relevant. They have to work. Yeah. But we respect them. Activists have also done a lot of good things in this country. But this is a political process, so let them not play politics. Let them continue sticking to the rule of law and fighting for people's rights, fighting for the Bill of Rights. But when it comes to political, they should actually be bipartisan. Let them just stick there.
Listen, we need to cross over to Mombasa. Then I'll pick your mind on something else. Mombasa Governor Hassan Joho unveiled 47-year-old Technical University of Mombasa lecturer William Kazungu Kingi as his running mate for the August 8th general election that happened yesterday. Joho says he trusts Kingi to move Mombasa closer to the county's Vision 2035, adding he knows he may not be around to deliver the vision to Mombasa residents. Governor Joho will face off with Wiper Senator Hassan Omar and Jubilee Suleiman Shabhal. Senator Omar has opted for a female running mate, a hotelier Linda Shuma, with businessman Shabhal opting for former Kisauni Member of Parliament Anania Mwaboza. So that is the scenario that's playing out in Mombasa. And of course, remember, Hassan Omar is running on Wiper, Joho is running on ODM. Let's listen in a little bit to what happened yesterday. So the official campaign date is 28th, 2 days from now. So officially, all political parties will be on the road trying to convince as many people as possible to vote for their people. Individuals will be trying to get as many people as possible to vote for them. But clearly, one of the mother of all battles will be in Mombasa. This is why. The current senator, Hassan Omar, is running on Wiper. Wiper is headed by Kalonzo Musyoka. Hassan Joho is running on ODM. ODM is headed by Raila Odinga. Raila is NASA's presidential flag bearer. Kalonzo is his running mate. So the question is, even when the core principals probably go out to campaign, especially in Mombasa, Jesse, this is going to put them in a very difficult position. Assuming it's Raila, who do you campaign for between the two?
That is very easy. Your party comes first. And if you've been watching Raila's campaign trail from Isiolo to Baringo to West Pokot to Garissa, everywhere he goes, he always says, I'm coming with greetings from Governor 001. That is not, Joho is not even seeking for votes in Isiolo or even Baringo.
Yeah.
And this is somebody Raila is selling nationally. So in other words, Raila is preparing Joho to succeed him in ODM. He's the deputy party leader. It's only natural. He'll have to fight. Joho will only have to fight it out with Oparanya. But then I don't even know why you're putting it as an epic battle. Mombasa, there's no epic battle.
Are you sure?
Go with the opinion polls that went the other day.
Come on, opinion polls let us down 70%. In the US. No. Opinion polls really let us down in the US.
That is US, this is Kenya. But
no, we all knew Hillary Clinton was going to take it until the results were out.
At least I was on the other side. I was Team Trump.
Why were you
for all his shortcomings and all other things. Sometimes you need a distraction to the establishment.
Really?
At times it's good. But then moving on what has at focus Mombasa, I think... it's not really tricky for Raila. When he goes to a place where his own candidate is vying, he'll have to campaign for his own party. He's the party leader. It's only right. I don't even understand why he was being bashed for telling off the independent candidates. For him, ODMs comes first. Before even NASA.
You see, listen, Jesse, I probably understand that because ODM may come first.
Yeah.
But then every political party needs the independents. What if the independents all decide, okay, fine, you don't want to work with us, we are going to support the other side?
But then how are you going to sell yourself? You can't sell, there are some regions you can't sell the other sides. It's only good for you even as a candidate to toe the line and support the person who doesn't want you.
Okay, listen, so let's go back to our Mombasa conversation. You don't think there's going to be a battle in Mombasa?
There's no big battle. I mean, Hassan Omar is a friend of mine, a good friend of mine. He's a lawyer. I respect him, a good leader in his own rights. If you ask me, I think he's the best performed senator in the 12th parliament. He would have actually my advice, of course, 2 cents advice, he would have gone back for senatorial seat, wait Joho to finish his second term, and then eventually take the Mombasa gubernatorial seat.
Let me pick the mind of Maimuna Mwidau, who's now joining us from Mombasa. Maimuna, good morning. Can you hear me?
Morning, Linda.
Hi, how are you? How is Mombasa?
I'm good. Mombasa is cool. The weather is great.
Listen, we're talking about Mombasa Governor Ali Hassan Joho and the Senator Hassan Omar. Remember, both of them have unveiled their running mates. Let's talk about your thoughts about the kind of running mates that they both have. Hassan Omar has picked a lady, Linda Schumer, and of course, Ali Hassan Joho picked Kingi yesterday. What are your thoughts about their running mates?
I think both have done a great job in picking candidates that complement them. If you look at Hassan Joho has picked an academician, Dr. Kingi, but who has also been involved in the Jumuiya activities in Coast. So Dr. Kingi does have quite a bit of experience in terms of the development programs of Pwani counties. With regards to Hassan Omar, he has picked first a lady from an ethnic group, the Mijikenda, and a Christian, just to complement him because he's a Mombasa fellow and a Muslim. So I think the two governors have done well in picking running mates that complement them.
He has picked a woman to be his running mate. Is that going to do much to really change how the residents of Mombasa are going to vote? The gender card?
To some extent, yes. It is not just the gender card. Linda also comes from the larger Mijikenda community, plus the Taita. So that might, at some point, bring in more votes from the Mijikenda plus the Taita communities, and the women on top of it. So hopefully women will see that opportunity and seize it.
Listen, allow me to put you a little bit on the spot. Ali Hassan Joho has had issues raised on his academic qualifications, and the man he has picked to be his running mate is an academician by all means. And there are those analysts who say that this could be strategic, putting in mind the questions that are being raised about his qualifications. That's probably the reason why he went and picked someone with the highest level of qualification in the region. What are your thoughts?
Linda, that's obvious. The allegations are serious, and if proven in the law courts, I think the chances of Ali Hassan being a governor for the next term may be cut short. So what will be a better strategy than to bring in somebody who's highly qualified, who may be able to take the Mombasa seat without any issues. And I think they also know each other quite well, having worked throughout the Jumuiya initiative. So Dr. Kingi would be a better candidate to continue the programs probably that was started by Ali Hassan Joho. If in the event that they are not able to remove the governor due to his issues, then they will still continue to work together. Dr. Kingi comes with a lot of experiences in terms of research. He will be able to steer the programs forward. And again, if Ali Hassan Joho does not have the kind of credentials Dr. Kingi has, then Dr. Kingi will be there to support his programs. We must give credit to Ali Hassan Joho. As a governor, he's a politician, while Dr. Kingi is not. So the two can complement one another, and maybe Dr. Kingi in the process will learn to be a politician at the same time, while holding his academic credentials that will help him operate at a different level. But in the meantime, I think the two complement one another very well.
Okay. So I am in studio with Jesse Oduor. Jesse is a lawyer, and you're having the same conversation on the scenario that's playing out in Mombasa. And he seems to think that probably Hassan Omar should have waited for the next 5 years, probably run again as a senator, then go for the governorship position, because initially I'd said there's going to be an epic battle between the two. He doesn't think so. He says this is a clean cut, probably going to go the Joho way. What are your thoughts? What sort of battle are we foreseeing before the general election?
I think it's just not a battle of two. It's a battle of several individuals in the coast. For those of us who live here, we know the difference between the two. We know the similarities. We understand where the rift started. And Hassan Omar is a vibrant young man. He may not have the necessary finances equivalent to Governor Hassan Joho, as it is assumed, but he's a very vibrant young man, and I think he has every right to try and contest for the governorship position. If he wins, good for Mombasa. We will see what he can do. If he doesn't, he's still a young man. He still has an opportunity to play a role in the community, whether in the opposition or within a specific platform. But I think we need Hassan Omar to keep the county government on its toes. So we hope to see a very tight race. It doesn't matter whether one wins or not, but I think we need a vibrant person to keep watch on what is going on in the county.
Maimuna, finally, before I let you go, what is this one thing that you think will be the selling point for whoever it is that will get the governor's seat? What is the one message that they need to be passing out to the residents of the coastal region that will probably get them elected or re-elected for that matter?
The one major issue that has been coming up, and I think this was raised by Hassan Omar, it's the level of corruption at the county government of Mombasa. Now, between all the candidates, I think the incumbent has to prove beyond reasonable doubt that there was no corruption. He was able to do quite a bit of development in Mombasa County. Otherwise, there's no other issue. It's corruption, and he needs to prove that. But he still has a lot of support despite all those allegations. The sitting governor still has a lot of support.
Okay. Maimuna, I'm going to turn you into a crystal ball. So, Jubilee has been at the coastal region trying Jubilee has been at the coastal region trying to get as many votes as they can, and so has NASA. And there are those who seem to think that probably the coastal region is slowly becoming a quote-unquote swift swing vote. What are your thoughts? Which direction is the coastal region heading from where you sit?
That's a difficult one.
I know,
Linda,
trust
but
me,
I'll
I
give
know.
it a shot anyway. I'm seeing a balance. I'm actually seeing a balance between NASA and Jubilee. Jubilee has tried its best to make inroads, specifically in Kwale and Kilifi. Mombasa is a hard nut to crack. But I'm seeing a balance. The swing votes will be 50-50 most likely. If that equation does not work, then we are actually going to see the dominance of NASA, given the fact that now ANC has come on board. You see Lamu becomes part of NASA. So I'm seeing a 50-50 situation.
You see,
and that will be good for Jubilee and bad for NASA.
You see, you've done well as a crystal ball. Thank you. Maimuna Midao from Mombasa.
Thank you, Linda.
Listen, thank you so much for speaking to us on this, and I'm hoping we can get to do more of this with you, especially as we focus on the coastal region as we head towards the general election. Thank you so much for your time and for being part of a news center. So, in studio, I still have Jesse. Jesse, what are your thoughts? Is Mombasa probably going to be a swing vote or not?
Mombasa is not a swing vote. That's a NASA stronghold. the idea that it might turn into swing votes, I don't think it's going to crystallize. You can only see the number of times the president and the deputy have gone down to the coast several times. The people, of course, they have managed to get a few leaders here and there, the likes of Mungaro and the Kwale governor, Salim Vuria. But then the people are not with them. Things have changed. You go through all the by-elections that have happened there, and NASA have carried the day. So if it was turning into a swing vote, the by-elections alone indicator could have given that. I mean, they even took the mining minister. By-elections happened, NASA carried the day. So, I mean, it's not happening. You even given somebody a community cabinet position, but then they're still telling you, no, we don't want you.
What is it about the cost? What is it?
You see, cost politics, it's a little bit different from the other part of the country. For a long time, they have this mentality of we've been marginalized. Actually, that is what actually formed the MRC to say Pwani si Kenya. In that it is the gateway of Kenya, but then to a practical and economical aspect, they have been marginalized. They haven't benefited from the gateway of Kenya. And then moving from that, you go back to the issue of land. These are people who have squatters in their own ancestral land.
They were given title deeds the other day by the president.
The court nullified those title deeds and called them fake. So that is not even an issue. If a head of state can issue title deeds and then being told that they're fake, I mean, he hasn't lacked, he doesn't suffer from poverty of advisors who know these things. I mean, the Attorney General is there, Solicitor General. He has no cut map for how many advisors he can have on being advised on issues such as what happened. And being embarrassed on national stage is not actually one of them. It's not good. Okay. So when you do land, and NASA, more so ODM, has packaged itself as pro devolution. That is one thing that Coast residents really wanted. And then fighting for land justice, injustice in that region.
Let's see how that goes. Jesse Oduor, lawyer, thank you so much for helping us to look at the developments in the country, politics, what's happening around IEBC, and aspirants are hoping to vie in the August 8th general election, and that pronouncement by IEBC CEO Ezra Chiloba yesterday, and exactly what that means. You're watching News Center. Jesse, thank you for your time. Listen, you're watching News Center. Thank you so much for staying with us. Allow me to take another break. Then we look at the state of security in the country.